A total of 35 candidates who contested the 3rd May general election have declared their election expenses, with combined spending reaching 884,978 Singapore dollars. The figures were published on the Elections Department's website on 28 May. Under Singapore's election laws, all candidates must disclose their campaign spending and its nature to ensure transparency and accountability. Among those who have submitted returns so far, People's Action Party candidate Ming topped the list, with 104,085 Singapore dollars in declared expenditure. Over half of this went toward non-online election advertising, such as printed materials and physical displays. Go, a former SAF Chief of Staff, was part of the PAP team in Marine Parade Braddell Heights GRC, the only team to win in a walkover. Their combined campaign expenditure stood at 388,756 Singapore dollars, the highest declared among all teams so far. The 35 candidates span several political parties, including the PAP, Progress Singapore Party, National Solidarity Party, People's Alliance for Reform, Red Dot United, and Singapore People's Party. One candidate each from the Singapore Democratic Party, People's Power Party, and Singapore Democratic Alliance also submitted returns. Independent candidates Braddell Heights and Jeremy Tan declared their financial statements as well. No candidates from the Workers' Party have submitted expenses to date, leaving 176 candidates yet to file or pending official publication. The average expenditure per candidate was 25,285 Singapore dollars, though spending varied widely. Some candidates reported zero costs, while others exceeded 100,000 Singapore dollars. PAP candidates led the pack, averaging 77,751 Singapore dollars each, followed by PSP at 32,303 Singapore dollars and NSP at 24,378 Singapore dollars. At the lower end, RDU averaged 1,297 Singapore dollars per candidate, while PAR reported just 898 Singapore dollars. 7 candidates declared no expenses, including Sharad Kumar, David Fu, and Pang Heng Chuan from RDU, Alec Tok from SDP, Harminder Pal Singh from SDA, and Lim Rui Xian and Muhammad Nur Hakim from SPP. PPP's Samuel Lee reported only 100 Singapore dollars in other expenses. He later announced on TikTok that he resigned from the party on 23 May to pursue other opportunities. Among independents, Jeremy Tan, who contested Mountbatten, declared 16,075 Singapore dollars in expenses, mostly for his solo rally at the home of athletics on 1 May. Braddell Heights, who ran in Radin Mas, spent 12,213 Singapore dollars, mainly on printed materials and non-digital promotions. NSP's Sembawang GRC team was the only other full team to declare, with total spending of 121,888 Singapore dollars. Candidates must also declare donations. Only RDU's Bain Pua, who contested Jurong East Bukit Batok GRC, reported donations, 280 Singapore dollars from 6 anonymous Payno transfers. He spent 109 Singapore dollars on his campaign. Fellow RDU candidate Kola Manikam submitted disputed claims totaling 1,365 Singapore dollars for items such as food, transport, and extra flyers. She told the Straits Times the party refused reimbursement, citing a lack of prior endorsement and fundraising. "I'll personally absorb the cost," she said, adding her campaign was driven by service to Singapore. Candidates have until 16 June to file their returns. Members of the public can view submissions via the ELD's digital service using SingPass credentials.